All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Welcome to the NHK,
Episode 6.
All right. So, past flames were met once again.
They were
tingled.
They were
right, but
inflamed.
let's just say that Sato Hikikomori blocked himself. Yeah. She wanted to get back in touch. She wanted to see each other, like him again.
Yeah. So,
and he reciprocated, but still.
Yeah. At the very least, though, he is making efforts to move out of Hikikomori status via Misaki.
Right.
But he's not going to meet his deadline. But at least he was honest about telling her that this whole thing isn't the case, because more or less she kind of saw through the lie.
Yeah.
But also, he's still going to make the game.
Yep.
He's still going to make the game with Yamazaki, and that's cool, because then they can have a progression, a goal, a thing that he can work towards, something that will get him out of the house, at the very least interacting with one human being.
Right.
So, this is progress.
Things are looking up. Yeah. Oh,
progress?
It definitely is. It's not a straight line, but it is progress.
Yeah. That's what reality looks like. Not a straight line, but a bunch of...
It's messy, but it's going in that general direction eventually.
You got to look at this on an annual level, or like a biannual level.
Right.
So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh my god. What? You got... Burn it all, he says! Burn it all!
Yeah.
I can't imagine either! What is like this anyway?
Wow.
That's not even Japanese! Oh my god!
This is great.
This is so beautiful. Time. You've got 15 minutes. Oh, no, that's right.
Oh, he's way late.
Yeah, he's way late, yeah. Yeah. Oops. A lot of us are not skilled when it comes to conversation. This is tough.
Brilliant conversation.
I'm ready to learn some things too, yeah.
Okay.
You're quite the marketer selling this. Let's go.
Oh no, the ultimate technique.
What?
I don't think that will work.
Huh?
How did you get this idea?
Wow.
Wow.
What?
She says after she just tells him.
What? No. Oh no, he's gonna bring all this stuff back up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She just no-you'd him so hard right there.
Even.
Wait, how does she know that?
Even.
Yeah.
You're junior. Oh, these barbs are ruthless. Oh. Whoa. Oh, that's his waifu.
Yeah. No.
And he doesn't get it.
Right. Oh.
Oh, wait, really? Really? Doubt. Press
yeah.
doubt. See, guys, even weebs can get in relationships. His smiling face.
This is totally imagination.
Yeah, it is. He just kicked the stairs.
Yeah.
そんなはずはない。
ちょっとコンビニに佐藤さんも一緒にどうですか？
Yeah, for sure.
俺はほらゲームのシナリオ書かなきゃいけないから。
そうですか。じゃあ頑張ってください。
頑張って.
By the way,
That's his alarm clock.
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Spy.
やはり自分の目で確かめるしかない。彼女がい
It
な
might be like,
Yeah, like it could take so long
Yeah,
until he actually
like-
sees his girlfriend
like
again.
he might only see her
especially with
like
what a
once every
shut-in he
week or
is.
something, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But actually, if you think about it, a voice acting girlfriend would fit very well into them making an eroge together, you know?
That's very true.
So I kind of want her to be real, you know?
Yeah, sure.
It'd be a cool character to add into this dynamic.
学校でのあいつのことは何も知らないんだよな。
It's gonna be a little weird. Like him being surrounded by this many people with social anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
わかんねえ。
Sure.
Oh,
体験入学の生徒だな。
yes.
決まり
Yes.
では一応土曜日ってことになってるんだけ
はあ、ゲームのシナリオを。
ど。なんだ、そんならちょうどよ
He's
かっ
like,
た。
that's my class.
せっかくだから僕の
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just gonna get him
これ
in.
から
Yeah.
ゲームライター科の
Oh,
授
he's
業だ。
a teacher.
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, please. Let's do this.
Okay.
今配ったプリントをもとに人体デッサンのおさらいをしたいと思います。
企画意図、ターゲット、ジャンルを明確に。
This is
ゲームの場合
This is
は
legit. Yeah.
もポイントになるからそこも押さえておくように。
あの頃は当たり前のように卒業までの4年間大学に通い続けるものと思う。
The idea of going for something super specific and not thinking about just graduation necessarily, but like, I
right.
want to acquire these specific skills, you know?
I've acquired a very specific set of skills.
Yes, indeed. Oh. Oh. What register?
Oh,
実際に制作会社に提出するつもりで書くこと。肝
is
心
he
なの
getting
は
evicted?
こちらの意欲を
I don't know.
確実にアピールすることだ。
人々の心に平穏をもたらすアンビエント系ギャルゲーである。
I like it.
Yeah.
主人公はとある山の奥深くに住む炭焼き職人、山の精霊。
Okay.
Oh.
二
Yeah.
人の間に言葉はない。会話を
I'd
交わ
watch
さな
this
くても
show.
お互いの気持ち
What's
が
it be?
通じ合う
Game, but
Well,
yeah.
yeah, but you know.
青年を引きこもりとかいうバカにすることもない。何の心配もなく、プレイヤーは自動的に表示される CG とただ眺めているだけという。
おいおい、隠すことはないだろう。
He's like,
人に見られることを恐れてちゃ。
Yes, that's true.
That is very true.
笑ったのは悪かった。いや、
Oh!
なかなか斬新な企画だ。
he's like, it actually is a pretty innovative idea.
嘘つけ。
お
人を見下して偉そうに。
誰だって初め
Yeah,
は
this
素
is
人
gonna be good words coming from this guy here.
講師や先輩に笑われたりして
That's right.
Oh,
一人
cool.
前になっていくんだ。それとも君は自分と同じかそれ以下じゃないと他人を
Oh.
認められないのか。
Oh.
だ
That's
としたら本当に他人を見
Yeah. Oh. No, he's realizing you are like that. How they're all looked at as, oh, freaky.
yeah.
Wow. Oh, this hurts.
どうした
Yeah.
陰謀だ。
日本
引きこもり
教会。俺を付け狙う悪の秘密結社。日本引きこもり教会の陰謀なんだ。
Oh, man, buddy.
山崎の彼女なんてどうだ。わざわざこんな人の多いところまで出てきて、
Oh.
俺一人で。
Mm-hmm.
帰りどうすんだよ。
あれは歴史に名を残す傑作だって。
へえ本当か
Oh, that was her.
Yeah.
間違いなく最高に面白いゲームだって。ななこちゃんもぜひプレイすることをおすすめするよ。
かわいいじゃねえか、チクショ
What? She's actually not his girlfriend, and he just wishes that she were.
Right.
自分だけ生身の彼女
That line,
Yeah.
out of context,
Yeah.
is so perfect.
Oh.
山崎くん また明日
Oh, they're not boyfriend
Yep.
girlfriend.
Oh,
He wishes,
but he
though.
likes
he
her.
has a crush on her. Yeah.
Yeah.
相変わらず仲いいね。山
So
崎
maybe
の
they're.
彼氏なわけ
Oh!
Oh.
友達
Oh.
Shot through the heart.
Yeah.
And you're to blame, darling. You give love.
半分リッキーみたいな
Oh no!
Oh man.
大地さ、今の私は数
Ah!
え
That was painful. Hopefully
山
he
崎
didn't hear that though.
見たぞ。
So
彼
what
女
does it tell?
緑川
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
He is
uh-huh.
keeping it
声優科
positive.
の
And
生
he
徒なん
didn't
です
hear
よ
that.
付き合い始めたんです
Wait.
いやー、なかなかの
He's
美
just
人だよ
telling
な
the story.
でしょ他の連中も狙ってたみたいですけど
彼女はお前のこと。
やっぱ本物の
Ah!
女っていいですよ
Just like he imagined he would say it.
最高っす
Hmm.
そっか、
Yeah.
やっぱり彼女じゃなかったんだ。
ああ。あいつの勝手な思い込みってやつだ。
Communication.
Yep.
Communication.
お前、わざわざ山崎の後をつけて、学校にまで潜り込んで。
That's not difficult, really.
引きこもりの佐藤くんがそんな人の多い場所に
That's true.
Yep.
That's very true.
Yep.
And you probably just inspired that script writer teacher. And he's like, wait a minute, that's a really good idea.
最初からそれ。
I can make a game about a hikikomori overcoming being a hikikomori. Yeah.
はあら
Oh, jeez.
Okay.
Oh, crap.
お尻
So it was more of a slip than a true fall.
Okay.
なわけないか。
All
right.
Okay.
All right.
That was an amazing, hilarious episode.
That was great. That was
That was
great.
fantastic. One,
Sato
yeah.
made a lot of progress.
Yep,
A lot
yep.
of progress,
Mhm.
even though it was rough progress, right? It
Yes,
was not a straight
was-
shot.
It was tough, yeah.
Yep. There were. He progressed at the rate that he was able. You know. He got into a place that where he was uncomfortable.
Mhm.
He reached the limits of what his
Uh-huh.
comfort would allow.
Yeah.
And then he left. You know.
Yeah. Not before being given some really bad advice surrounding confidence, though, from Misaki.
Oh.
I gotta call her out on that.
Oh yeah.
Now, I want to bring up something rather interesting.
hmm
She saw no issue with that, right? The idea of the way she was describing it.
Unless she's truly big braining everything.
Well, if she's truly big braining everything, that's cool and all.
Right. Right.
But the
But barring that.
But the point is
Mhm.
that I think this is more evidence in that she was hikikomori and she kind of got out of it. But she still got her own issues now because
Right.
getting out of it wasn't done the right way.
Sure, and it could also be something where she's still kind of in it.
Yes.
Is the thing.
Mhm.
And that this is how she basically isn't fully hikikomori,
Right.
because she goes and helps someone else, right? She helps someone else where she could look down on them and be more comfortable around them, right? Where
Yeah.
and which is great because they do so much from the perspective of Sato of making her out to be this goddess savior, right?
Right.
And even mentioning that, oh, it's just like a gal game,
Yeah.
that I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop where he realizes that that's not true.
Yeah, she doesn't have angel wings, buddy.
Yeah, she doesn't have angel wings.
Yeah.
She's not some scantily clad person staring off into the distance as the wind blows at her nightgown, next to a very, just well placed tree. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I know how we knew exactly.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So, if this
All right.
is insight into how she deals with things in
Yes.
her own little way, and yet she knows that maybe this isn't perfect, but she's like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do what I can, and hey, I'm still getting outside. It also addresses the issue of she really seems to have a lot of time for
At
him.
least at night, though. So I don't
Sure,
think
sure.
I don't think it's actually that she has an insane amount of time, because I think most people have free time at night. It just gets occupied with usually things that relate to the
Sure.
people that you're really close to.
Sure,
She
but
just might not be close to many people.
exactly
if
right.
anything.
If she doesn't have a lot of things that would demand her time, whether it's things or people, right?
Yeah,
you
I think
know.
it's maybe less people.
Right, sure. You know, and we don't really know, so we'll have to see when we
That's
get
true.
to know her better,
That's
right?
true,
But the idea that him being super late isn't too big of an issue. Like, she comments on it, you know, but she's still there.
That's true.
She's still there.
She
Now,
needs this as well.
right.
Yeah.
She needs this as well. Yeah.
So we end up going to the school, the design school.
They're one of the
Which I loved that. It felt very much like we're getting to see what it's actually like for the people in this industry to have to go to the classes and learn this stuff.
yeah, so
they're
it's
bringing up some good topics.
Right. It's interesting stuff to see, you
Yeah.
know, from the school perspective, but then it's also great for Sato to get out there, and at the same time, it's one of the better excuses, I would say, that they could have come up with for why he goes on this venture, because there would be nothing worse than thinking, well, this person next to him is better than him.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
You know? Which ties into what Misaki was talking about. But then he's like, okay, so I'm going to go find out if he does actually have a flesh and blood girlfriend, right?
Because he can't be better than me.
Right, he can't betray me like that.
Right.
You know? That was great. And then they tie it in with, yeah, no, she's an actual person. They're not together. And she finds him disgusting and has no problem saying that to the rest of her friends. Yeah. And yeah.
The part where she's like, no, obviously I couldn't be with him. He's just a friend. I'm like, oh, that hurts, buddy. But then there's the other part of the, like, ew, no.
Right,
like, he's a filthy otaku. He's basically half hiki. It's like,
oh, he probably likes little girls.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
like,
Well, because what I initially thought with the first line was that it was actually something where it was very sweet in the sense that, oh, she does kind of like him, but she hasn't realized that she likes him. Of the no, we're just friends. Like, you know, like, no, we're not, what? You know, but no, it's way
no. See, in anime, when the girls talk about the person that they like and stuff like that, the girls, if she does like them, then she goes, it's not like I like them or anything, Baka.
That's a very specific trope, Kale.
But that's what most of them say, because no one knows how to write good female characters usually.
But so then all that stuff happens, and it's like, man, I really feel for Yamazaki. Yeah. Like, that sucks. That sucks.
Well, and I think it sucks more so because you can tell he's needing to buy into it for his own sake.
Right.
But in a lot of ways, this is something that's probably not new for him. This is probably something that he lies to his parents about.
Right.
Something of like, hey, I'm doing great. I've got a girlfriend and everything. Her name's Nanako, and she goes to the voice acting thing, and it's great. It's wonderful. So it's probably not a thing where he's, you know, he really thinks that she's his girlfriend. It's probably a thing of where he's willfully deceiving himself because it feels good to believe it rather than actually.
There is a reason why he has such an obsession with 2D girls in parallel with telling everyone that he actually does have a girlfriend. You know,
there is still a possibility. I guess you're right that, like, or I mean, I guess that she might be leading him on. I just don't want to immediately assume the worst about her, even though that she was kind of trash talking him.
No, I think it's something where she kind of maybe puts up with him and potentially enjoys the attention of you know, basically, well, parallel to what was going on earlier, having someone that she can look down on.
Or sure, totally. Like, it also might be a thing of where what I think a lot of guys do, and it's kind of dumb how we do this, is we'll be like, I'm hanging out with a girl one-on-one. That means we're dating. That means we're in a steady relationship. I haven't actually asked her out once, but, you know, I can just assume correctly that we're in a relationship there. Yeah, I just know a lot of guys that do that. They'll be like,
really?
We're like there's a good vibe between us because we hang out one-on-one, and it's like, that doesn't mean anything, bro. Like, it really doesn't. Like, not until you've actually, like, communicated on, like, a verbal level is there necessarily anything really there.
Right. If anything, like, for me with personal experience, I feel like I've in a lot of cases maybe shot myself in the foot because I considered it to be completely off the table of, this isn't, like, not just this isn't a date, but this couldn't be a date.
But that's still an example of where you're putting no communication over, over communication.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm talking about, you know, like
the other side of the spectrum.
Well, and also like, you know, like a long time ago, you know.
Yes, that I got
you know, but oh man. Yeah. So in the situation that we're in, we got actually, I feel like this was more of an episode that, like, it did touch on Sato. And it did some good progression. I love the thing with the class and the teacher and all that. What the teacher said was fantastic. But I feel like this was also very much a give some love to the other side characters and show a bit more insight into them and who they are.
Yeah. Because I feel like Yamazaki got some good focus here, but also the Misaki bit of being like, wait, she's got her own problems too.
Yep.
And, you know, she doesn't have all the answers.
Right.
Clearly. Clearly.
Yes.
Like, I loved how the teacher threw back his words in his face of like, you realize, like, based on you saying that actually means more about, that says more about what's going on within you than it does about us. As you don't know anything about what's going on with us.
Yeah.
But based on that, is this what you're dealing with? Because it seems like it. And then suddenly
assume the worst about everyone to deal with your own self-hatred.
Then his hikikomori stuff pops up.
Because he hit the nail right on the head.
Because he hit the nail right on the head, and he feels vulnerable. He feels exposed. He feels afraid. This is scary, and this is suddenly now the environment is hostile. It's something where it's like, oh no, I don't like this. I don't like this. I gotta run, fight or flight.
Yep.
So obviously, flight is chosen, and that's really real. I remember multiple times when I was younger where there were times where it wasn't as direct or as obvious of a call out like that.
Sure.
But the example would be there'd be something of myself that would pop out. And I would just go, oh, I don't like that. And it would trigger all the anxiety, all the fear of like, oh no, all my self-deprecative, loathing, hatred, all that stuff pops up. And then I run from the situation thinking that it's the environment that is actually against me, where I loved the visual here of having the environment be this distorted, warped thing that's universally constant. There is no like bright light amidst it. It's just pervasive. And he's the only bright thing because he can't see the problems ever internally. He has to project it out into the environment. So then the environment is bad, runs away. It's all a conspiracy. No, I can't be the problem. It has to be out there. And then you run away from it, but you can't run from it because you're carrying the problem with you. And it's the saddest thing because you can't really help yourself until you admit that you have a problem in that instance there. But most people, especially me, when I was in that state, probably, oh man, what was I like? Probably 18, I think. You can't just snap out of it. It's very
when you're in your own head.
It's very twisted.
It's cyclical.
Well, it's cyclical. That's a great way to describe it. The same things that you think are going to help solve the problem perpetuate the same problem, or they kind of put it to rest for a bit, but you end up kind of feeding it through your patterns over the course of the days in between said social anxiety breakouts.
And the actual solution to the problem might be simple if you were able to get outside of your own head and see the problem for what it really is. But things you can't do that.
Yeah, because usually you need someone to guide you through that.
Oh yeah.
Hence counseling. But he's not even got a perfect or even a pretty good counselor at this point here.
But hey, that could cause some, that could actually be helpful.
Maybe.
Because then if he gets to if it's not something of, okay, she's helping him, but it gets to the point where he realizes he maybe needs to help her. Then that can get him. Then that's a way to get him outside of his own headspace, right? Sometimes one of the best ways to solve your own problems is to help someone else solve theirs.
I want them to go into that at some point.
Not that they'll go into it super heavy or that it's like, she just needs a knight to save her or anything like that. But
what I would prefer. See, I'm biased. I don't like that. I don't like that scenario in the immediate. I love that way down the road. What I would rather see early on is something where he realizes that she has problems.
Right.
Which
basically he has noticed.
Yes.
Started to notice.
I don't think he's actually started to notice it.
No, realize just how much. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you could lead from that is then because she has a problem, therefore he has a problem because she's a part of his routine in his environmental routine. He has to come to her for help, but if she has a problem, how is she supposed to help him? Therefore, it's his problem, so therefore he needs to seek help. That's my weird, simple causal thing there. Mm-hmm. But your one I really like as a long-term thing when he's in a more mature place. I don't think the blind leading the blind leads to anything good.
I'm not necessarily saying like that, but the idea that a lot of the times I feel like whenever we're in a tough situation, we know what we need to do. We just don't actually do what we know we need to do, right? So in a situation where, say, we're helping someone else or trying to help someone else, we might not be effective at helping them, right? But we'll tell them the thing that basically we wish we did ourselves.
Yeah,
right?
But that only works if they have the same problem as you.
Oh, right, yeah. And even if they do have the same problem as you, they're a different person than you, so what they need, their solution to the problem is going to be completely different, right? Sure. So it almost never works as far as advice. But as far as basically using that as, like, being like, oh, wait, I actually do know what to do. You know, and then basically, if you can realize the hypocrisy of your statement of telling them to do the thing that you won't do, right? Then be like, oh, okay, all right. So I guess I have a path now.
Yeah, that requires a lot of self-awareness for starters, and then also a lot of courage.
Oh, definitely.
I would say that both of those things he doesn't.
He's in short supply.
He has no supply of self-awareness. If anything, I would say he actually, weirdly enough, has more courage than self-awareness.
Sure.
I would say he has recently done things that either he, channels something else, like frustration, or jealousy, or horniness, or something, and that makes him go beyond the need for courage until he's in the threatening situation, threatening for him, in his mind or what have you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm very intrigued as to what Misaki's situation is here.
Well,
especially since now that Hitomi isn't going to be around in the story, at least for a while.
Well, the thing is
I hope she comes back, but
I hope she comes back too. Yeah. And the thing is, she could at any time because they did exchange numbers.
Yes.
All it takes is for him to get over his pride.
Yes.
Because that's the real issue here, right? It's not that he's hikikomori, right? Because that can change as with something as simple as just some daily behaviors, right? He's got a lot of problems, right? Yeah. But it's that he's gotten so comfortable in his hikikomori-ness. He's gotten so all the problems are out there. They don't have anything to do with me. It's all conspiracy theories. I don't have to solve my own problems. I don't have to worry about anything in here, right? I'm better than everyone out there. They're all evil. They're all.
No. I mean, you're taking this too far. I know what you mean originally, but yeah.
If he can get past that, if he can get to the point where he'll have a little bit of humility and basically be like, okay, and that's what sort of started this whole journey of him being like, I need to fix this, right? There's a problem here. Then all sorts of things can happen, and I feel like it's just a journey of him reaching those points where he's able to be humble. And if he strings enough of them together, then awesome stuff can happen.
Yeah, I think though, as we're going through this story, the main point that they're going to be making is that it's not about him necessarily even having big milestones. It's actually just about him going on this journey. Because the journey of going through, the leaving hikikomori status involves being in hikikomori status for a long time.
And potentially for the entire series, and then it's only at the end when he finally, looks back and realizes, oh wait, I don't think I'm hikikomori anymore. I have a job, or I
it's
whatever.
It's so gradual that we probably won't even notice it.
I mean, we notice.
Well, right, but like in terms of defining it, I think it's going to be such a
Right. It's going to be, it's a curve, not angles.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm bringing up I kind of went off the reservation here, but I was meaning his problems, not necessarily the Hikikomori arc, which you're talking about. I was meaning the fact that his personality problems, his actual like character issues, are such that Hikikomori is a surface result of the actual internal problems.
Yep.
So him being even not, or him being Hikikomori or not being Hikikomori, I think almost won't be the point via a certain point in the story.
Right.
It will be a thing of like, wait, is he Hikikomori? And we'll be like, well, he's not, but he's still got all these other issues which are making him antisocial, but he's talking to a lot of people. Like, this story's whole thing might be the joke that he's no longer Hikikomori already because of, you know, how much he's actually now able to interact with all these people.
Well, right. And if Hikikomori is basically just neat, right? You know, then like, he is he is working on a project that hasn't brought any money in, but he is, you know, dedicated and working on a project. So there you go. You know,
there's education involved there, or even some level of training involved there. So
exactly, even if it's not at like an official institute or whatever. Although that could potentially happen given what happened this episode.
Right.
And yeah, the whole thing of being Hikikomori, that's not the issue. It's the issue. It's a symptom of the issue, which they talked about, you know, in I think the first episode, and Hitomi brought it up when she was like, you know, that doesn't really surprise me, you know, and I was I was only half serious. The idea that, you know, with how he was, that is his state right now is a natural extension, you know, of his internals, right? So if you can change the internals, then the outside stuff will change.
Yeah. But yeah, all these other characters are going to go on their own journey with him. I like that. I'm very glad that the show is willing to have these characters tag along, so to speak, and have their journeys actually be a journey, and not just they're the static characters that help the main character move along. They've got their own things, and they're not so simple. They're not so simple. And especially now that Misaki is being brought up into this, I'm
excited to see what they do there.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So that's the episode. I don't think Nanako is going to be helping make the eroge, unfortunately.
You never know.
But you never know.
Give it 18 episodes.
Yeah, maybe.
It's possible.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in 18 episodes. There you go.
Because what I'm really excited for is for Yamazaki to because with Misaki, it's very straightforward of where they're setting up the development for her with how it pertains to her as a person, right? With Yamazaki, I feel like it's not quite as clear because it's about something specific in his life. Of there's this girl that he likes, but she thinks he's dirt, basically, and he is deluding himself, right? So the way that he will resolve that will probably involve some confrontation with her, or some resolution of, you know, himself and how he feels about the whole situation and whatnot, you know. I don't know, but
okay, I think that maybe that's a new point of conflict, but his main point of conflict is just that he's an otaku, and he's a societal outcast in that genre. Basically, that's the point of I'd say all these characters is that they all have some part of them that's a social outcast. Like we have the workaholic, pumps drugs to just stay sane Hitomi, who was also kind of an outcast during high school.
Right.
Then we have the Hikikomori, who is trying to break out, but is constantly regressing back because of fear and all these other personal issues he's got. We've got the saint, who is actually probably just as screwed up as the rest of them, just trying to figure this thing out by helping other people. And then we also have I guess that's it. Yeah. Yamazaki do otaku.
Right.
Yeah.
And basically,
he's probably the most okay out of all of them.
Right. And what was her name? Nanako.
Nanako hasn't really been made as a character.
No, I know, but I could see her potentially becoming a character in the show if Yamazaki gets to the point where he, you know, confesses his feelings, or, you know, or whatever, and all the stuff that'll happen, you know, surrounding that, if it does happen. They don't have to, of course, but if they did do something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if she did end up helping on the game.
Yeah,
but it'd take a while.
And I think we could use another character. I think we are, you know, in terms of how much we see of these characters in any given episode, I feel like one more wouldn't hurt the main cast in a strong way.
Yeah, I mean we've got a solid 4 characters right now.
But one more we
totally could definitely handle. Yeah.
And in some ways it almost
it fits the
arrow gay thing that we're gonna hit here.
So we've got the main character, we've got the other, the
guy
main
at the
male
desk,
character that's the sidekick at the desk that has no luck with girls, right? And
and then we're filling out all the tropes. Here
and then
we go.
We've got minimum 3 other girls, right? Because you need to have options, right? It's,
oh no. This show.
2 of them
fun at
are already
so
in the liking the main character potential. One that definitely does or did, or probably still does. And then the one where I mean she's featured in the opening so promptly, of course. And then the other female character that doesn't like the main character but also doesn't like the friend of the main character.
Jeez. Okay, well that's what happened this episode, and they're at least making some progress on the arrow games. That's
they are
good.
Indeed,
and we'll see what happens in the next episode. So y'all, if you want to see that next episode's reaction and discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can get involved with the community there. There's a lot of wacky, fun people in there, and you can also talk with Jacob about the book he wrote.
Yes, if you haven't heard,
Battle Lines.
My sci-fi novel Battle Lines is still available for order on Amazon. Links in the description below. Go check it out. Check out the reviews that are on it, And if you do get it, make sure to leave a review of your own for all the people who will come later.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.